Mute the laptop, baby. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. What's up? And welcome to Art All Night. I am your host for what I'm going to call Art All Night Radio. A-A-N-R. Anner. Art All Night Radio. I'm your host for the night, cultural correspondent and analyst Bryant BeMo Brown. I'm coming to you live from Art of Noise right here in Washington, D.C. It's going to be a great time. I'm here with my man Adrian. I'm here with my man, the DJ. DJ, what's your name again, my man? What's your DJ name? Frequency. I got to say it like that. Frequency. All right, you got to make sure you get your accents right. I'm here with my man, DJ Frequency. Not Frequency. Is your name Quincy, perchance? Okay, no, just free. No relation to Quincy, but Frequency. We're here tonight, all night. We got some wonderful artists that are going to pull up to us here in about 30 to 45 minutes. I'm not going to talk your ear off all night. We do have some Wake and Bake with BeMo specials that will play as interludes, but I just wanted to introduce you to the space. I'm your main man, 100 grand, BeMo Brown. I got the lady of the house with me. Lady of the house, you want a microphone? Here, come here. Talk to the people. No, you want to warm me up? Yeah, you want to sit there. Which one you want? You want to do the lady of the house? Uh-oh. What you going to do? Okay, come on through. Lady of the house. Welcome to the show. Art All Night Radio. Got my man Frequency in the house. All right, we're at Art of Noise. Lady of the house, tell me just real quick, what's your history with Art All Night? How long have you been coming?
Definitely a few years, but not as long as I would like to say.
Why?
Because I've been here like 10 years. I haven't been going to Art All Night all 10 years.
So tell me about your most recent Art All Night experience.
I think it was probably in Congress Heights last year, right?
Oh, Congress Heights was popping last year.
Yeah, it was great.
It was super popping last year. It was a really good time. What do you remember from that experience, and what made you want to come back out to Art All Night tonight?
Let's see. I remember, of course, everybody was out.
Yeah.
The kids, there were a lot of activations. I remember the Dirty Magazine had
the Dirty Magazine had to move because the
great.
activation was next to the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good, brother. It's all good. Hey, man, if you want to come check out the art and get closer, you can. You know what I'm saying? We are doing a show in the middle of a gallery. I expect you to look. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to come have a conversation with me, I won't be mad. You know what I mean? I won't be mad. All right. Oh, we were talking about Art All Night, your history of Art All Night. Why do you think this event is important to the city of Washington?
Because it allows us to feed into the creative culture that's in the city. There's a lot of artists here. Yeah.
Name three. Since there's so many artists here, name three.
Oh, hey, Lil. Shout out
Okay,
to
Lil.
Lee.
Hey, Lil. What's up? Okay. Literally outside.
Right, exactly.
I wonder how far you can go with my phone. I wonder if you could do a live report from outside.
Who else? Maurice, of course.
Okay, Maurice.
Shout
Art
out
for
to
the
Wake
black
and
market.
Bake.
Yeah, shout out to who?
Wake and Bake with BeMo Night.
Oh, yeah. Paul Robeson, Negro of the Week Award winner.
Right.
Oh,
The
winner.
illustrious.
Yeah, the illustrious. That's true. Very true. Give me one more.
Chris Pirate.
Chris Pirate. Okay, so which DC artist is your favorite? Not those three, though.
I'm not gonna. I got to.
You don't want me to set you up?
Yeah, you want them to come after me?
Yeah.
No.
You know, I stay trying to get the lady of the house to fight. You feel away?
All exposed.
That's fine. You can feel exposed, sweetheart.
What about you?
What about me?
Yeah.
The three artists I would name, I'm going to go with Honey's Girl.
Of course.
Number one. And then I'm going to go with my man, P-Zay. Man, I hope P-Zay show up tonight. Yeah. P-Zay got some shit now.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. P-Zay has a piece of art that I think is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be groundbreaking as it comes to the new wave of how we interact with art. Well, I said P-Zay, Honey's Girl, Maps Glover, my man. My man Maps Glover, who's a performing artist, but we do have a couple of pieces at the house. It is nice, though. You know, we sit in the home of fine art. You know, I'm proud of such. It is nice to be amongst different art, though.
Yeah.
Who is this behind me? Who we got? This is on a Friday afternoon with... What's her name?
Vanessa Villarreal.
Villarreal. Wow.
And this is Candace Tavares.
You know, I wonder, do we look like these women sitting in the salon right now?
Nah.
Yeah, girl. Mm-hmm. I wonder what my interview strategy should be today. What do you think? Should I just pull people from the crowd who are looking at art and see what their thoughts are?
That's interesting.
I'm going to need your help doing that. You got to tap people on the shoulder like, hey, he want to talk to you. You got me?
Well, I think it should be people who look like they want to talk.
He want to talk.
You want to talk?
They want to talk. I think they want to talk. Go bring him the mic and see what he says. That's right. I'm throwing the lady of the house out as bait. Go for it. Go for it. You want to join the pod real fast? You shy? You want to join the pod real fast? Come on. She want to join the pod. She got us. She going to hold us down. Come on in, friend. Come on in. Hey. What's up? I know you can't hear us, but we are recording, so try to talk into the microphone as best as you can.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So, first off, let's get acquainted. What's your name?
My name is Unoma.
Unoma?
Unoma, yes.
Nice. What's that mean?
It means good home.
Good home?
Beautiful home, yes.
I'm so jealous.
What's
My
your
name, well, my real name is Bryant.
Bryant?
You know what it means?
No.
A guy from Ireland named Bryant. It's no purpose. Has no use. There's no use. What brings you to Art All Night tonight?
Just to explore and see art,
Yeah.
really. So I'm just here on a Friday evening to see art. That's it.
That's so cool.
That's really it, yeah.
I saw you taking a picture of a couple of pieces. These pieces, do you know the artist's name? I can't see her name. What's her name right now?
Candace?
Candace.
Yes.
You're taking a couple of pictures of Candace's art. How
Yes.
how is it moving you?
I just, I feel like words cannot express it because it's just beautiful. We've been talking about it. It's so unique and it's made from wood.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. Just to
Really?
be honest, I've literally never seen anything like this. So I'm gonna try to save up to at least afford one piece.
Yeah.
Because it is something I want to put in my
It's
house.
moved you that much.
Yeah, it really, I took that. I'm gonna send it to my family and be like, "This is what I want for my birthday." That's a good plan. Yeah.
You should do that.
I should.
You should do that. You
I
should
think I
tell
should.
Candace
Okay.
that that's what you're gonna do.
Okay.
She's gonna love that.
Okay.
But what about you've never seen wood work like this before. So what about the wood? Is it the mixture of texture? Is it remind you of something?
It doesn't remind me of anything. It's just I think the attention to details, like the braids, I can see the lines and the crisscross, that's just it. The attention to details, like the afro and the combs, the puff, that attention to detail. Yeah.
Now you mentioned 3 hair things now. What does the braiding mean to you?
Just black, beautiful hair, our beautiful hair. Yeah.
It's so unique, especially when you see it braided on wood. Are we all right? We're out of disc space? Oh, damn. I got to cut this off. This is crazy. But we still going live. It's just not recording at the moment. That's crazy. I'm out of disc space? That's 2 T's. That's all right. I guess it's been a good time. Oh, we were talking about the uniqueness and the beauty of black hair.
Yes.
Just give me a bar.
Oh, Lord, no.
When did or do this? When did you fall in love with your hair?
Years since I was 10, young. Yeah, years ago. Yeah, I've always I love my hair.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Let's see here. I've been bald. I've had perms. I've had another set of locks. I've had waves.
Okay.
I didn't always love my hair.
Why? Why is that?
I think the people I was around
Okay.
didn't make space for my hair.
Okay.
We're seeing now that even in some states it's illegal to wear your natural hair to work.
Yeah. I know. It's we're doing the Crown Act. I feel just thinking about that, it's yes, we have the Crown Act, but it's why should that even be a thing? It grows out of my head.
Yeah, why do we need a law to accept what comes
Right.
out of my head?
Right. Where? It's so, you need to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's we need a foot act so I can
Right.
so I can walk properly with my legal
Exactly.
feet.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Right. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you got your art all night to do. You lucky you
Yes.
already got a piece in your hand.
Yes.
How's everything outside? Is it beautiful?
Good. It's good. It's
Okay.
getting lively, so that's good.
Okay, good.
That's good.
Well, thank you for stopping by. Do you want to like shout out your socials? You want people to follow you? And
No.
No? Remind me your name one more time.
My name is Unoma.
Unoma. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm out of disc space, so you just got to catch this on YouTube.
Okay, what's your YouTube?
My YouTube is BeMo, B-E-M-O.
BeMo.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, B-E-M-O.
Okay. I'll look it up.
It's like a reminder, BeMo. You feel me? You feel me? You feel it? No, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, very good. Come on, podcast guests. The beauty of your black hair is wonderful. Once again, if you're just joining us, we are here at Art All Night. We are here to celebrate DC artistry. Here's what we're going to do, lady of the house. If you could, let's play the Odd Mojo video. We're going to be right back and see if we can figure out some of this disc space situation, because I want to make sure my man Adrian has a copy of tonight's broadcast, okay? I want him to see it. We'll be right back with more Art All Night with Wake and Bake with BeMo. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Hey, yo, bro. Yeah, wake up. Where's my packages?
It's in the back.
Bro, you do this every time. Oh, shit. What's good, bro?
It's so good to see you.
Yo, it's been a minute.
I know. Where you been? What you been up to?
I'm good, bro. I'm kind of tight because he keep fucking up my packages.
Oh,
losing
my
them every
God.
week. You know how it be over
Yeah,
here.
it's always something with the concierge.
Oh, my God, bro. It's all right, bro. You probably
You
ate
know you
her
owe me
shit,
a
too, that
smoothie.
she ordered.
You lost my smoothie. I don't know what happened.
The usual. But what's up, though? What's up with you?
Going to that rooftop party. You going tomorrow?
Oh, word? Oh, see, I don't know. I'm about to start writing some music. I'm in my vibe. I have a lot of thoughts about stuff.
Okay, I feel
What about
that.
you? You go?
I just thought the anniversary for me and Davon's tomorrow, so we may slide or I don't know.
Yeah, you on that cuffy shit. I
know
feel
what I'm
you.
saying? Got my boo.
Well, let me know. Hit me up, and
Okay.
I'll pull up with you if you go.
You be off your solitude vibe, so I don't know.
You know
if you're
I'm
gonna
always
pop
on my
out.
space vibes. I like my own space. You already know.
Okay.
But I'll let you know. I might, but I'm really thinking about writing some music.
Okay. You want up? We can make.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up because he sucks, and
Okay.
you lost my packages.
Yeah.
So yeah.
See, you know what? That's cool because that's exactly why I be eating your DoorDash. That's exactly why I eat your DoorDash. Wow.
Yo, babe, look. Yo, do you see this? TikTok is so wild. Like, yo, wait, where you going, babe? Babe, where you going?
Ayy, yo, I need some space right now. I need some space. Yeah, I need some space right now. I need some space. Yo, I need some space right now. I need some space. Whoa, hey, yeah. I need some space right now. 6 feet away. Get your own J, nigga. I'm smoking on a personal. Ayy, oh, and this is personal. Whoa, be careful of the energy you project. Sign telling me you don't really care. Living life on the edge. Nah, I don't want that near. Yo, they say a lot of things, but they don't really mean it. Hey, whoa, I can tell that you're fiending. Whoa, for my company. You wanna be all over me. Manipulate, project. Nah, I gotta protect my space. Hey, whoa, hey, I need some space right now. I need some space. Yeah, I need some space right now. I need some space. Whoa, 6 feet away. Get your own J. I'm smoking on the personal. Hey, and this is personal.
I'm going on a trip. Need some space like Capricorn is. So please respect this. It don't got nothing to do with ya. I'm finding my bliss. Setting boundaries you cannot allow.
I need some space right now. Right now.
Get in touch with my life. It's a beautiful sight. Do you
know that we celestial beings. We are all stars, yet we are not the same. Growing tall from the plains, sprouting real high, oh my, manifested from the skies. Oh yeah, my circle real small. Keep my family around me like we fast and furious tall. Need some space from around y'all. Yeah, I need some space from around y'all. I need some space right now. I need some space, space. I need some space right now. I need some space, 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 space. Space, space. I need my space. Oh, space, space. Yo, I need my space, space, space. Whoa, I need my space right now. I need my space, space.
Art All Night Radio. Again, I'm your host, Bryant BeMo Brown. We're doing a live podcast right here from Art of Noise on Upshur in Uptown, Washington, D.C. We just had a wonderful guest come through and talking about some of the beautiful art. Or you know what, sweetheart? Yeah. Oh, man, now I'm conflicted. Do I want you to go live on Instagram or do I want you to follow me around with the camera? I don't know. Let's go live first, and then maybe we'll do that after the second break, huh? It's in the way. Drake. You just got to lift my phone up. Pinch my phone up. There you go. It's still in the way? Damn. Damn, damn, damn. We good? All right, we are live on Instagram as we are also live right here on YouTube and Facebook and X. Again, we are here at Art All Night Radio with your host, Bryant BeMo Brown. We have some wonderful artists that will be stopping by this afternoon, this evening. If you're catching a replay, this is an important moment in time that you missed, that you should have been here. You know what I'm saying? You should be here. Matter of fact, if you're not doing nothing, get off your tookus and come over here right now. Art All Night Radio with my man, DJ Frequency. We have some wonderful artists that are coming through. We just had a young lady come through and talk about the importance of hair. This was an African young lady. I couldn't tell where she was from. I should have asked, because right now I'm about to make a very generalized assumption about her nature. But it was very interesting to hear her talk about how she's had a love for her hair since she was 10 years old. That's a love that I'm very envious of. Even the fact that her name means a thing, I feel like that's further indication that, you know, the connection that we have with our hair has been severed as it relates to the relationship that black folks have with America. So here we are tonight at Art of Night, Art of Noise. There are a couple of pieces in here that we'll walk around and talk through. I hope Camille, the artist, comes through, because I'd love to talk to her about why she chose to texture these individually, these pieces of art that are just beautiful. So we're gonna, and I think they're made of wood. I cannot touch them. I know we're in a museum. Can I touch it? I want to touch it. I want to touch it. Oh, come on, Kendall. What up, Kendall, man? I wish you was here too. It's Art All Night, baby. It's Art All Night. I think we talked about the importance of our relationship with hair as it pertains to the things that we talk about on Wake and Bake with BeMo. Have we talked about hair? Today I was asked an interesting question. The question itself was actually quite simple and limited, but like, what does it mean to be black? And blackness has this umbrella term, but where does hair fit in that situation? And the young lady we just talked to, and this artist that we're going to talk to later, may further investigate what that hair means for us. But we got a few people in the house. I wonder if any of these folks, oh, this dude looks like he know what he's talking about. He look like an artiste. He got the backwards Kango on. What else to say? I have been, I have been to Art All Night several times. I think this might be my 6th time. I'm always in Southeast, though. It's always a good time. I always want to have a good time. But I feel like this event is important to the Washington, D.C. area because it allows us to gain exposure to those who are expanding our imaginations. This is a town that's full of policy, a town that's full of law and full of bureaucracy and bureaucratic tape and process. But what we don't talk about often here is right behind that White House is also galleries and museums and amalgamations of individuals who are furthering the imaginations of not only black folks, but the rest of the world. And so we've said on the show plenty of times that the government is investing in wars, but divesting from triangles. This is a night where, we see an obvious investment into triangle. So I'm hoping I could talk to as many people as possible tonight to see if we can get more perspectives from the people about art all night, because I think that art is a very important piece of our culture. On the show, we talk about how we're looking for social, cultural solutions to problems that are plaguing blackness and plaguing a certain perspective, and art is definitely a pathway to that solution. So that's why we are here at Art of Noise in Washington, D.C. I'm hoping I can speak to a couple of folks. It looks like this. How you doing, man? You good? You want to come sit and talk with me for a little minute? No? Don't want to sit and talk? That's fine. You don't got to sit and talk. You don't got to sit and talk. I'll sit and talk to myself. That would be embarrassing, just sitting here talking to my face. Are the people on Instagram here? Huh? Okay, for sure. Tell them to come to Art of Noise. Bring their tookies on down. Come on down to Art of Noise. We can get it popping. I wonder what's going on outside, though. I haven't done a live podcast since, but like other people are here. You know what I'm saying? They can hear what I'm saying. I'm talking. Maybe I should have prepared some topics. I didn't prepare not nan topics, sweetheart. Should I talk about these pieces behind me? How they move me and such? Okay. Can the people see my shirt? Yeah, look at that. Okay. So right behind us, we have On a Friday Afternoon by Vanessa Villarreal from 2023, 48 by 48, 2 pieces. It is mixed medium. The folks on the internet, you can't quite see it, but the young lady's dress right here is actually made from denim. It looks like there is an actual extra cover piece that she has used to cover the heads. This newspaper is made out of newspaper, and it does, is that a blackberry, dog? Oh yeah, the tile is the tile is mixed medium. I touched it. I touched it. I'm bad. I'm bad. The tile is even mixed medium. I would say, looking at this piece though, it reminds me of my mom would go to the hairdresser in Sears when we lived in Missouri, because that's where all the black hairdressers, for some reason, they worked in the shop out of Sears. So this reminds me of watching them. I've never been on no hairdresser before. You been on a hairdresser? Have you put me on a hairdresser? I think you put me on a hairdresser like once or twice. I think you put me on a hairdresser once or twice. I mean hair dryer. I'm talking about the hairdresser. Have I been to a hairdresser? I don't think I've ever been to a hairdresser.
That was a part of my existence as a child.
Existence?
Well,
growing
existence? Up, my grandma, she would get her hair done by the old school beauticians. They would use a hot comb with the grease and curl your hair and have to wait and sit there for hours. Yeah, the whole thing. Like every Friday. But me, I went a couple of times. Of course, as I got older, I started, doing the flat iron thing and doing my hair myself. But
do you think that technology has kind of like interrupted the hairdresser? Come sit next to me, because it's just me and you right now. Do you think that, because I'm seeing the young lady on her phone, right? Right? Yeah. That wasn't the thing, but I guess newspapers have always been an in-your-face distraction type situation. Yeah. But do you think that technology has further separated the hairdresser from the hairdressee?
It's a little complicated because I feel like that experience now is completely different. So I feel like a lot of hairdressers use technology to reach their clients.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right.
I mean, but according to social media, the hairdressers these days are trash.
Yeah. That's because they want you to come pre-washed, pre-blown out, $400 deposit. If you 2 minutes late, you're
Session 450.
Right.
We want a $400 deposit.
Right.
Please and thank you.
Right.
But yeah, so So with phones and such. Oh, here's another question. Do you think that technology will ever reduce the need for the hairdressing shop? I feel like this experience exists to a certain degree because we still have shops, but do you think that technology, the in-home shop, will ever outpace this type of situation?
There could be a future where that happens. I hope not, because that is a part of, the Black experience.
It is.
Because that's how you create your community and, vent or relax, unwind after a long day, And
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. That is part of the community. And it's a very Black business.
Right.
Like it's a business.
Right. It's kind of related to something we were talking about. Do you remember? Something about losing that experience. Not necessarily hair, but it was something else. I don't remember.
Like losing the in-person Black touch experience?
Yeah.
I don't remember that source, but I've had this conversation a couple of times, especially as it pertains to AI.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when I was sleeping with Superman, we had a fake pitch competition, and I was charged to defend what would be AI learning braiding.
Yeah.
And I said the only way that it could be ethical would be if the braiding AI machine was actually still in the shop, because we still needed to be we still need the social service of what hairdressing is.
Right.
And we see that since the beginning of hairdressing, which, is arguably, what's my girl name? Madam C.J. Walker. Yeah. We see the beginning of that with Madam C.J. Walker, who's doing hairdressing as a reparative form in the household at large, and then sending other individuals to do such. So I think that's very pivotal to the Black girl experience. But so is your MRS degree, according to your girl. But we got some few peoples in the house. You want to see if you can grab a couple folk, grab a non?
I'll give him a second.
Facts. Pink.
Yeah.
Pink.
And it's like the old school like floral wallpaper. Oh, you're talking about pink like the...
No, I want to talk about the wallpaper. The artist is here? Okay, cool. We'll bring her up here in a moment. Who is it? Adrian, who is it? Red? Hey! What's up? Red, come on over whenever you're ready, man. It's on you. It's on you. Red is here. You remember Red?
Hey. How are you?
Red, how are you? Red, come join me on the couch.
Hi,
hey.
What's up?
Say hello to my friends. My friend is the camera.
Hello, friends. Happy Friday. Yes.
Welcome to Art All Night.
Yes.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling so great.
Yeah.
I am super excited to be here. I love Art All Night. Like, this thing is new to me. I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm super excited for this entire weekend.
Is this your first one?
No.
Okay.
I had, maybe this is like my third one.
Okay.
Yes, but super new. Like, this is a DC thing, I think,
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have it in Chicago.
There's nothing comparable in Chicago. There's like no art all week.
In Chicago?
Yeah.
There's museums and galleries.
Really?
But not something that like celebrates and extends it into like an entire weekend at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to like appreciate DC for that. Like, I feel like, it is a place, a city that really appreciates. I appreciate that about DC because I think it's supportive to artists. At least it's been to me.
That's good. That's good. I was going to ask about, why you think this night and these moments are so important.
Yeah.
We were having a conversation a second ago that the, government has kind of defunded art in school.
Yeah.
But yet here we are in the federal capital celebrating what sounds like to be a very unique moment in art space.
Yeah. you know, I mean, I think it's really interesting, right? Like, I think artists sometimes don't get to be artists because other things are forced upon them.
Oh, let's
right?
talk about it. Yeah.
And then you just sort of have to like do this thing that like what is expected of you, right? And then when you're not supported or in a serious way, when you don't have grants or opportunity to showcase or the funds to actually do your work, then I think like you sort of put that away and say, okay, I need to concentrate on this thing that will. I'm from Ethiopia. There's a word for that in my language, and the word is yabelalwe.
Yabelalwe.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
And that word means like, is this profession able to feed you? Like, is this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you sort of tell your parents like you want to be an artist,
I already know.
Is this gonna feed you?
Right.
Like, is this gonna put some food on your table? You know, but the thing with artists though, it's like if you're an artist at heart, I think it's something that you will continue to do, right? And for those of us who have the opportunity to be funded or have a grant or publication or succeed in it, like we thrive, right? But there's a lot of artists, I think, that are not really maybe being celebrated in that way, but they still practice their skills and their...
So then how do you find that balance? Like, how do you find the balance of being an artist for the sake of artist expression versus capitalistic success? I gotta pay the rent this month. Like, what do you? Are there techniques? Are there? Do you? I don't know. Do you meditate? I don't know. What are the ways that you find balance in that existence?
I mean, this is like a real thing, right? Like, I have a lot of people that sort of have pursued other professions, because they couldn't really go into their artistic endeavors full time,
right?
But I think if you notice, or if you have those kind of friends, you'll see their doodles, or maybe they bake, or maybe they sing, or maybe they still sort of practice that, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they're not like full time doing that, being getting like a income that supports them from that, but they still sort of practice it, right? Or maybe also there are people that say, okay, I didn't get an opportunity, but I'll allow my child to go to art school support, you know what I mean? So I think there's a way that we sort of just like still practice what we do and do what we love, and the balance is maybe you're not doing it full time.
I understand.
Right? Or maybe you're just coming to spaces like this, galleries, and supporting other artists, right? And buying other artworks because now maybe you can't afford to, and you want to have art in your home, and you know, so maybe we don't practice it, but the balance is still you have it in your life in some sort of form.
I understand. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
How do you think we can, because there's something to the point of you were an artist, you had artistic training to a certain degree, and then you had to go into the workforce for whatever reason, right? So there is something to the idea of having to support art in that way.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had a great question. Damn it, Red. And then I saw Maurice and got excited. That's what it was. I saw Maurice and got excited. This is what I was saying. So to have that appreciation takes a certain level of understanding, education, to have an appreciation for art.
Yeah.
And as we see that art is being taken away from public education, how do you think people can learn to love and appreciate art completely independent of what that mandatory school system was telling us to do?
That's a great question. I think there are galleries that are open. They're not shutting down our galleries. I hope not, at least, right?
That's true.
And I think it's coming into these spaces, you know, coming into a gallery like Art of Noise or any other community or galleries in communities and museums too. Like DC has a lot of museums, at least right now, and I think it's sort of continuing this idea of going into spaces galleries and supporting other artists.
Yeah.
You know, and then like I think in a practical way, the way you can do it is sign up for the newsletter, right?
Right.
To every gallery that is in your surrounding.
That's actually a good idea.
Right?
Yeah.
And every time they have an event, if you can make it,
Right.
show up and see what they have and see if it fits your taste.
Right.
Maybe decide to be a collector. You know what I mean? I think those are like real practical ways, and I think things are opening up in a sense right now. Maybe in academics in school that they're taking these things away, but there's a lot of spaces that are offering opportunities for art to thrive.
Right.
I'm in a space called PhotoWorks that offers dark room and analog photography.
Okay.
There's a lot of events happening there, you know? Put a little plug in there for them.
No, we're going to talk to your plug. We're going to talk about the plug in a second, yeah.
But definitely it's like finding these artistic spaces in our communities and having a relationship with that space, right? Because I think like those are easy things that are right there next door to us that we could plug in to,
Right.
you know, and talk to a friend, you know, maybe you sort of want to do this thing and you don't know how to, but maybe someone else does, you know? Yeah.
Huh.
So
That's brilliant.
practical advice.
But it takes, but from what I'm hearing from you, it takes like intentional attention to the space. You're not just going to trip up upon.
But the thing is, I think a lot of people think that like there is this like fuzziness about being an artist. It's not. You wake up in the morning and you practice, right? You put the brush to the canvas or to the paper, or if you're a photographer like me, you are thinking how you can photograph and what light is going to work, and you're doing research. And these are things that you just have to sort of do. I think sometimes we see art as something that's like, how do I say, like out there, or like sort of.
I read this book and I read this art theory book that says that when we like attribute like this, they called it like this divine. This is in air quotes though, like this divine, like artists are touched by God. And then this vision comes in your head and you just scan it from your eyes directly onto the canvas. When in actuality, it's more like what you said. It's practice.
Right.
I'm
it
a
really
musician.
is. Yeah.
I used to play the saxophone. The only way you get better at saxophone is playing the saxophone.
That's it.
There is no like.
There's no waking up and then all of a sudden
I'm
you're
Kenny
just.
G. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kenny G had to wake up every morning, you know, sometimes in the morning, maybe go to sleep thinking about, you know, and that's the thing is that like, and I think maybe it's like, do we have sort of the discipline to sort of, the obsession to, you know?
The obsession. The lady at House will tell you, when I have set my mind on a creative output, I am obsessed. I am relentless to the point of almost an asshole. I got to walk away from the room because I'm focused on getting you know what I want to do though? In order to demystify, let's talk about some of the nerd shit though.
Okay, let's do
I
it.
want you to talk to me as if we are colleagues in the dark room.
Okay.
You said that you do research on light.
I
and
do.
you also say you run a program in a dark room. Is that true?
Yeah.
So tell me about some of the specifics. Give me, like, just confuse the shit out of me if you can.
Confuse the shit out of you. Okay, so really what I do is I work a lot with light and chemicals.
Okay.
And
those two
numbers.
Things? Okay, go. Keep going. keep going.
I do. I work also with people, right? Because I'm a portrait photographer.
Okay.
So in that sense, I also work in a very slow way. Like, I shoot film.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to understand what type of film that you're using and what it does for the portraits you're taking that with, right? So to me, for example, just through research and test and error, or trial and error is how they say, that I find that Kodak T-Max is the best film I can use when I photograph women. I usually photograph black women, and the way the their skin is displayed with this film is to me the most like beautiful way. Like it has like a very.
I was not expecting you to put a gender line there. I thought you were going to say a skin line.
Yeah.
But
well, no, I mean like I mostly here is my little Zindo here. I also photograph men.
Okay.
I have more of a series that Art of Noise even did a gallery on last year of portraits of women.
Yeah.
So I sort of work in this. I work in first a series. Like I think about like what is the one thing that I'm passionate about.
Okay, I hear you.
Is telling stories
Right.
about women and what their experiences are. And I can't really go and tell someone else's story. I don't feel that is a true thing to my expression as an artist. So I sort of picked and chose women that are closest to me. And those are like Ethiopian women, you know? So I go to Ethiopia once a year to photograph them every single year. And these women, I've sort of had this vision of who I wanted to photograph, and I reached out to them and I sort of established a relationship with them, and they understood what my project was, and we had really deep conversations before and understanding a mutual understanding to sort of proceed with this project. It's a five, hopefully it's funded and it's 10 years or longer, is to photograph the same women every year. So using film also was important to me because I didn't see women being photographed in this way. So I thought to myself, I should do it. I also
T-Max from Kodak.
Exactly.
Got you.
And I also print my own work. I make silver gelatin prints, and that's when I work with light again and with chemicals. And I like making large prints of this, because, again, I feel like I didn't see that sort of representation in galleries and museums. So I said to myself, how can I represent us in this powerful, beautiful tonal range that expresses the shade of what black is, and there's different shades to it.
Of course. It's a big umbrella. They put all these things under black, but it's more than just the single color.
Yeah. So I think in that sense, to me, I make handmade prints in the darkroom, and that all has to do with sort of this desire to immortalize.
That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
That's what I want to talk about.
Immortalize us, immortalize my art, immortalize the story that I'm trying to tell and what it may sound and look like maybe 100 years from now.
The immortalize is a great word. Because what is the difference between digital and print as an artist? Not just as the medium, but like, okay, so I was trying to start a record label.
Okay.
Failed, but it's okay. We'll talk about failure here in a second.
Okay,
Talk about here in a
let's
second.
get into it.
So I was trying to start a record label, and I found it was very important for me to print my artist's music onto cassette.
Yeah.
Not just digital, not on a CD, but something about the importance of making an imprint on a piece of metal that was like, this is permanent.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what that difference is from the visual aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was just having this conversation yesterday where this photographer friend who was saying that, like, he was taking these images, photos with his digital camera, and they were just coming out really perfect, like, crystal clear, and everything is so sharp, and he was sort of interested in taking photos that has like depth to it, right? A feel to it. Like you look at it and you're like, oh, I feel there's a sensation to it, right? And I think that's what, like, film does, and I think that's what, like, when you hear a music through a record player, there's just a different sense of experience that you're having with the relationship you're having with the music. It's just the same thing, I think, when you experience photograph that has been taken with a film camera or with a different type of film is that the sensation and the feel that it gives you is just different. And I think there's depth to it. I'm not trying to say there's no depth to digital photography. There is.
But there's it's a texture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just really interesting to me is that, like, why are we coming back to it? You know what I mean? If
it's so old, why do we keep coming?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, like, as humans, I think we have this desire, right? Like, even if you notice, like, we all went through, like, Zoom communication and like online communication when this whole COVID thing happened. Like, everything was online, and then we're like, forget that.
Yeah.
We need, like, we need our friend. We need to have community.
Meet me for coffee.
You know what I mean? Like, face to face, real interaction. And I think that's what analog does. Is that you're just like, I want this real. You know, when I print in the darkroom, I'm feeling things, I'm smelling things, I'm touching things, I'm seeing things. And I think it's just a different relationship I have with my images, you know? There's these photographs I'd taken like 2 months ago, have traveled back to the States to print them. And now when I see them come to life in the darkroom, it's such a different sort of relationship that I have with them, you know? So it's just special. I can't really explain that. Like, I can't really maybe wrap my, you know, it's either you get it or you don't. But I think is we all have this desire for the things that are just basic, right? Touch, smell.
We've had this conversation several times. I don't think there is, as much as we want to be sustainable, and it's probably a good idea to be so, I don't think there's a world that exists without paper.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't. And maybe we just maybe we're old and it'll age out eventually, but like I feel like
it just hasn't
permanent,
though.
and I feel like it won't.
You know,
and it hasn't. Paper a long time,
right? Like it just hasn't. And as opportunities, maybe it should have faded out. It should have been disappeared, but it keeps on coming, and maybe that's telling us that there's a relationship that we have with our surrounding that maybe won't be extinct. Like it won't be completely.
Yep. I've seen that. We'll get off paper here in a second, but I've seen people are starting the process of using like recycled leaves and stones to make trees.
Yeah, and
not trees, to make paper.
To make paper, exactly. But I mean, like, how did? Yeah, like I think that there is like a relationship between like, just like humanity, right?
It is.
Like
it's a very human thing, like
it is.
Sociological. Us moving in herds, very basic human things.
Right.
To have something on permanently on paper. That's why we wrote on the wall. We didn't have paper yet.
Right, and caves and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So let me ask you this. So you have a project right now. You want to spend 5 to 10 years going to Ethiopia. You want to get on a plane. You want to take a photo. You want to put it on film. Shoot this lovely person in the face. Then you come back to the States. And let's just say your thumb was in the lens, something crazy, or like the light hit wrong, or you got a bad batch of Kodak. You got T-Min instead of T-Max one time. So tell me, what is your relationship with failure? What do you do because sometimes I worry that my obsession is too far. Like when something goes wrong within the process and then I have to start over or I have to reapproach it in a different way. Sometimes I feel a little crazy that like I will retrace all those steps. I'll get back on the plane to Ethiopia. I'll find this girl again. I'll make sure I have the right film.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is your relationship with failure like?
Yeah, I mean, this is like super... when you're asking me this question, it was literally like I was almost about to have an anxiety attack, but I'm a perfectionist.
Yes.
I like things perfect. And the margin of error, like when you're shooting film, you know, you have to do it perfectly, right? Like it takes me at least like 4 hours to photograph one muse, with like a film that's like 12 shots, right? Wow. So I think for me, I sort of challenged myself and said this will be like a long term project because I wanted to perfect the way I practice.
Yeah.
And also be easy on myself as an artist.
I got you.
But not so easy that I mess it up in the first place. Anyone who's worked close to me knows that like I am very neurotic when it comes to how I practice my art and how serious I take it. And the thing when you're working with chemicals is the measurement has to be right, the temperature has to be right. You know, the way you agitate your film when you're developing it has to be just right. You know, the numbers and the way you shake it has to be just right. So I have perfected those things, right?
Wait, how you shake it?
Exactly. So you agitate your film in the canister when you are developing it, right? So the way you agitate your film makes a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you're constantly having this sort of back and forth with making anything in the dark room, where you're agitating, shaking, moving, turning, you know, taking from this wash to that wash. So,
Did the people who created the darkroom create all these terms poetically together? Cause man,
I know. Maybe, you know, I mean, it is a very nostalgic. I will invite you to the darkroom if you ever want to have an experience. But the practice it really slows you down to make you appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
And to make sure, I don't know if you've ever been a part of a ceremony where a certain ceremony has to be done in a very methodical way.
Yes, I have. Yep, I have.
Right.
Yeah.
For it to sort of be...
That's kind of like the point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is like analog photography, is that like there's like this ceremonial thing that we have to do to the film for it to come out right. There's a sort of ceremonial thing that we have to do for the print to come out right. And me, I travel from Ethiopia to the States, to DC, with film that goes through. So it's very stressful and problematic.
Yeah, it is.
But now, when I make mistakes, I see it as an opportunity, as an art, sort of artistic opportunity to say, this is a little story or message I could share with somebody.
Yeah.
But I don't think my mistake is so like noticeable, right?
Right.
I still perfect a print because that's important for a collector.
Right.
And for your print to be seen in a gallery or museum, it's important that you do it in a most perfect way. But if there's a dot here or a little thing here, you know, I tell the collector or the museum that this is one of a kind handmade print, right?
Of course, yeah.
So when you're making a handmade thing, not all of that, it's not a machine making it.
No, it's not right.
So
and that's the best part.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's me dedicating hours in the darkroom to make this print. So it's part of my sort of artistic expression
right.
to have this and to believe in it, you know. But it doesn't it doesn't excuse me to let failure be like to sort of say I failed, but I'm just gonna still present this.
Right.
Because I think even as an artist, it is called upon us to deliver.
Yeah.
You know.
As good as it can
the
be.
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. So that's what I think.
Okay. All right, Red.
Yeah.
I don't get to talk to many analog artists.
Yeah.
You know, I talk to.
We are
I
unicorns.
I guess like painters, or as close as the analog artists I can get, but like people who are in the darkroom and developing. Wow, I'm blown away. Yeah, I would love to come to the darkroom.
Yes, you are invited.
I would love to.
Your followers are invited.
I'm coming to the darkroom.
Yes.
I'm gonna let the lady house take the pictures because my pictures are terrible.
Yeah.
I have I don't know what it is.
Yeah. You know what you need to take a really good photo?
What's that?
Is really nice lighting.
Okay.
you need a good lighting and the rule of thirds.
Okay.
Right? So imagine a grid. There's like
I see
two
it.
lines and then two lines here.
Like
right?
tic-tac-toe. Right, got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
And then make sure that your subject is aligned in one of the dots. Right? Because our
I haven't thought
eyes,
about that at all. Yeah.
our eyes like alignment and they like symmetry.
Right.
Right? Because when you take a shot in a weird angle, you look at it and you're like, you don't like something about it. Sort of your eyes saying like, this doesn't look right to me.
Right.
So try to think of it in those sort of
Okay.
try to have your subject in one of those dots and
You ready to practice?
light and
We're going to
yeah.
practice when we get home. We're just going to take pictures
Yeah.
in the dark. Red, before you go, just tell me about some of your artistic accomplishments that you've had since we're
Okay.
at Art All Night. This is a night of celebration. What are we celebrating tonight?
Yes. Well, you're celebrating me as an artist, a lens-based artist.
Yeah.
I just concluded an 8 months artist in residency at PhotoWorks.
Nice.
Where I was making 5 feet till like 5 feet, about 5 to 3 feet cyanotype prints, which were basically cyanotype prints made by hand by me in the dark room with digital negative.
Yeah.
And I had a 2-month show there. It was published in the Washington Post.
Sweet.
2 different times, and then Washington City paper. And I've had a few solo shows here at Art of Noise and different galleries here in DC and in Ethiopia.
Okay.
Been in multiple group shows. And I have a solo show coming up here at Art of Noise. Opens December 15th. The holidays is my favorite time of the year.
Awesome.
So if you're in DC, definitely show up. It's something that I'm going to have that I haven't shown, which are my platinum prints.
Oh.
Platinum prints are very exquisite to see in real life, so you really have to be here to see it. You can't really like experience it online or anything like that.
You know we love platinum.
Yes. And probably going to have bubblies, because I love bubblies
Nice.
and art. So that's what's going to happen. And I continue to make art and continue to travel to Ethiopia.
Sweet.
And have a very close relationship to the muses I photographed there and other projects that I have. One of my photo zines is being sold here.
Oh, sweet. The Art of Noise.
Yes, it's called the Games We Played.
Is there one over there? Maurice, pass me the games we played.
Yes.
Appreciate you, Mo.
Thank you. This is it. It's a photo zine I made last year of the games we played. I'll just show them one picture, okay? So
Okay,
they can
cool.
actually come here and
That's
buy.
right. Sneak peek only.
There you go. These are the games I played when I was a kid in Ethiopia.
Oh, okay.
And I sort of recreated it going back to this neighborhood where kids still play these games. These games are becoming sort of extinct because no one is playing games anymore.
Yeah.
So for me
Whoa.
to document these like stories are very
Yeah.
important. I continue to photograph the children, and so you can get this here at Art of Noise.
Art of Noise, come through.
So connect with me on Instagram. My IG handle is it's like red and the number 8. I share a lot of my process there, and you kind of just have to see it. Sometimes I feel like I'm just sort of like making like witchcraft stuff, but it's me just working with light and chemicals, potions.
You're
to
not
make
wrong,
art.
I guess.
I'm not,
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, what are you making in there? And I'm like, you just have to come and see.
Come in the dark and find out.
But I love art. I think it really matters. I really think that staying true to you as an artist is important, not only for yourself, but for others too. And what you express is important because someone could benefit from what they see, that what art that you make and how you express that. So, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We're gonna be sweetheart. If you don't mind, you got Owen's thing pulled up, perchance. Whose video you got coming up right now? Let's do Tone Check. We're gonna take a quick break here on Art All Night Radio here at Art of Noise, and we'll be right back. Thank you, Red, for joining us. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
This was fun. This was a good time.
This was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you. This was so great.
Baby, can we? Oh, baby, please. Down on my knees, but I ain't begging, baby. I'm just trying to change. Mind over matter. I'll be the better. Home run sad, nothing but dimples and laughter after I change. Wanna take some time. Something in your tone kinda sounds like you're about
judge like my art against somebody's art who doesn't. It's not even the same fucking type of art.
I understand.
Because it's like, you know, what are we talking here? Like, cause there's gonna be people who like love that shit and like love my shit, and they're gonna be at odds. So it's gonna be like, you know, it doesn't matter. It's all art. So I think it's more so about like the people in
the duel in the street
yeah,
over art.
Duel in the street in these arts. I don't think you should do that. I think everybody's great, honestly.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
trying. I just know I try really hard, so you know.
Okay. So I asked Red about her relationship with failure.
With what? With them?
With failure.
Failure.
I want to ask you about your relationship with success.
Okay. Right on.
And artists now, this is just my assumption.
Yeah.
I feel like artists now are being more pressured to be more commercial.
Right.
If it's not making you money, then
Yeah.
it's not successful.
Right.
But you are making money. I put
Right.
your business out there. So
you know,
tell me,
yeah.
what's your relationship with that success? When you make a piece
Yeah.
and it actually sells,
Right.
I know part of you is like, I know a major part of you is like, oh yeah, cool. But I know
Right.
another part of you is like, what have I done? Or is that the case?
No. It's more so about like word. That's gonna pay for the show.
Yeah. So do you? So then, okay. Let's say you sold the timepiece, right?
Right.
Then do you feel compelled to make a life piece or a essence piece or another magazine piece?
No. Like I don't
Okay.
create that way. I just like I go off really just like the best idea. So I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Unless I plan it to be a series, that's
Yeah.
when it's a series. But like,
So you're talking to a businessman. So
Yeah.
explain to me, how do you divorce yourself from that feeling? Because my ass is like, oh, they love Diddy on Tuesday?
Right.
I'm going to talk about it all week.
Right. How do I divorce myself from that? I guess I
Yeah.
don't.
I think it goes back to the confidence thing. Like,
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what is that?
I don't know. I truly, why I have the luxury of the time to do it, like, I want to like A, do it my way, and like and B, like do it as close to righteous as possible.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
As
As
possible.
close as righteous as possible. I understand that some things there are like layers to the game where like you gotta like be around Whitey's madness, but I ain't got there yet. So
Yeah.
I'm still right where I want to be, which is true. That but like it'll be so much work created while I have like the freedom to like do this shit like actually as I'm doing it, that it's gonna provide freedom in the future to like do whatever I want to do.
I got you.
Cause I'm already protected by my past work.
Success brings you freedom.
Right.
Gives you more choices.
Yeah, cause like everything like time I get money for a piece and I get money for anything, it goes right back to the motherfucking revolution. Like I pay for I give my wife what she needs.
Yeah.
And then I just like fund the revolution. I buy shit from like other creators who like X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Like just funding the fucking revolution. Like I believe in like Dr. Claw's teaching of like, you know, just economic aggregation, like pull our money together, like as much as possible I give my money to the people.
Yeah.
Cause that's the right thing to do. And like it feels good. And the shit is dope too, so you know.
Yeah, it's just right.
And somebody gotta do it.
The most righteous way possible.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
one of the things you
Yeah.
said to me is like,
Yeah.
one of the things we talked about often is some of these radical ideas, what they call radical ideas
Yeah.
for black sustainability.
Yeah.
And we talk about like circulating money.
Yeah.
And then niggas be like, oh, it don't work. But then I always ask the question, have we tried?
Tried. Yeah.
Have we tried?
Yeah. I try as much as possible. Like, and actually, it's become like my first thought, and like my second thought is to like go somewhere else to like get something that I need.
Yeah.
I mean, like sometimes, like you know, mind you, I'm like bombarded by my own propaganda. So like you know, so maybe I'm driving.
I brought out the glass.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm driving myself crazy. Huh?
Maurice. What else?
What is going on in the world? Like I'm
your
always
connection to success. There was something else I was going to ask you. You started talking about your wife.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of the question, but you have a child.
I do. Yeah.
Your child sees you as an artist.
Yeah.
Tell me about
that's all she knows.
What?
Yeah.
Sit in her seat for a second.
Right.
What does she see? How does life make sense to her through your artistic eyes?
Well, I believe she's like, cause she comes to all the exhibits and like she actually was at the gallery. She was here yesterday when I was dropping off a piece, and she just enjoyed her natural habitat is an art gallery now. You know what I mean?
That's how she knows.
That's just how she knows the world. Like, you know, because like now she's like aware. Like she's 5 years old. She's aware. She's more aware. So she's more aware of space and like what I do and where I gotta go. And like she knows I'm leaving the house is like for some art stuff or art show, or can she come? And sometimes you can't come, and sometimes you can because like there's more adult things going on. But like yeah, it's her natural habitat. And honestly, I think that is something is beautiful that like you know. Like here's a person that like truly like see that only knows me as like who I actually really am, rather than like who I used to be in the process of becoming an artist and be like becoming a husband and doing adult shit. Like I am who I'm supposed to be now, but like in the past, like she saw me when I was a fucking kid. Like, like this guy, like what the fuck is he doing? You know what I mean? But like she's seeing me as like who I am. That's why, hey, wait to have kids until you're ready.
You point to the lady of the house or the camera?
I mean, like, the
camera.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Maurice, I'm gonna ask this. I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna let you get up out of here.
I mean, I could do this for a while. I'll see you tomorrow.
I got another artist behind you.
Oh no. We're doing this tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, bro, we can talk all the time.
Yeah, that's right.
We can talk all the time.
Yeah.
But I wanted your art to me is based on a lot of black nostalgia.
Right.
So tell me about how do you study the black past? How do you study the black imagination on some nerd shit?
Oh, so, all right. Let me start with like, I just think about what black people see in their entire lives. Like not only like black things, but white things in the media when they're growing up. And think about like why that thing was created for, like who was it for, and why was it presented. So I kind of like sum up like black nostalgia with like these things that are here and present in the black person's mind. But they're black, so they know they're black. They've been told they're black their whole fucking entire life. So they wanted some black things. They like that kind of, they like those ideas, but something's missing with those ideas. So I just like try to like provide for the black nostalgia the full representation of that idea, done as if it was made at that time.
Yeah.
So that's why I work on making it as authentic as possible, because like I truly want to like give people exactly what they wanted to see, not an abstract version of it.
Right.
I'm going to give it to you how it really should have been fucking done.
Yeah. From
the beginning. So I'm like washing out even that initial subconscious thing in black people's minds that made their whole basis about their future already kind of fucked up.
Bro, I fuck with you so hard, man.
So I am time
fuck
traveling,
with you so hard, bro.
washing it out.
Yeah.
And then you could start over again as like, you know, who you're supposed to be, who you always could have been. Because who's tried? Nobody's tried. I'm fucking. That's all I think about.
We gonna try.
Absolutely. That's
gonna try.
all about this brother right here.
My brother Maurice. Man, I fuck with you so hard, bro.
My man.
Man, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'll see you tomorrow.
And I got more for you tomorrow too.
Oh shit!
I'm a little,
you're gonna bring out the glass.
A little smoky smoke while I do it, you know, and chill.
It's gonna be a good time.
My hot thoughts are way more crazier than this.
That's why I got weed in the joints.
Here we go.
That's why we smoke them anyway.
We gonna figure it out.
Maurice, it's good to see you again,
Thank
my
you,
brother.
Sir.
I'll see you, my man.
My man.
My man.
Peace, y'all.
All right, y'all. We are at Art All Night Radio right here at Art of Noise. We got another artist coming up here very soon. I want to give a great thanks to my man Maurice James Jr. All right, Art from For a Black Market on all social media platforms. Got my girl Lex coming through. Lex, come on, man. Come on, sit down. Put your Chris Pirate on. Put your leg up so the people can see. Put your leg up so, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
A little abstract shirt.
Ooh. Yeah, let me gas you up. Lex, do me a favor. That's it. That's the end of the statement. Just tell people who you are, your name.
I'm Lex from Lebanon at IG. No, actually, I'm Lex from Lebanon. I'm a local DMV artist here, based out of DC. I've been painting very seriously for about 4 to 5 years. I have some of the best mentors in the city.
Nice.
Shout out Chris Pirate. Shout out Luther Wright. Shout out Keona Clark. Shout out everybody who has gotten me to the point of where I am, because I would not be here without these people.
Okay.
So
4 or 5 years? Did I meet you 4 or 5 years ago? Was that when that was?
I just started.
Wow.
I started 4 or 5 years ago. And
Wow.
I was actually nominated for the Mayor's Art Awards last night for arts education. Yes.
Good job. That's amazing.
Yes.
Let's start at Art All Night though. I find it, me and a lady were talking earlier, I find it so cool that in a city that's dedicated to policy and government and all that shit, that they have a night that's dedicated, a weekend now, dedicated to art. How does that make you feel?
Well, you know, DC is actually #1 in funding for the arts and arts education, which I did not know about until last night. And it makes sense because I tell my mother like all the things I'm doing, and she's like, how are you making a living? I'm like, they really invest in the arts here. So I will say, shout out to DC for that, because
this is true, yeah.
They don't, other places, they don't care about the arts. And now the schools, even in Maryland, where I teach, they're defunding the arts, and we're getting contracted to bring art enrichment and art programming.
Yeah.
And there's schools where like freshmen and sophomores don't have art class. Like they have to wait till they're juniors or seniors. So I don't know. I just think that DC is doing what they need to do, and these founders and owners of the new organizations that have been coming up, they're really on a mission, and they're really fulfilling this mission. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Let's talk about the art education for a second, because I've been on this theory that there's been a lack of artistic appreciation because people don't know how to appreciate art. So how are you as an educator getting young folks to fall in love with the art form?
I teach them that don't limit art just to visual art, just to painting. You can have art in anything you do. There's art in engineering. There's art in design. There's art in jewelry making. There's art in music. There's art in anything in STEM. So some of the programs that I actually work in, and I'm actually a part of a fellowship called Inspired Child.
Oh, nice.
And the mission is to teach children and teachers how to teach their kids to incorporate the arts within the STEM programming that they're doing. So I didn't really.
You're gonna have to give me an example. You're gonna have to give me an example. How are we? Like, are you saying we're just painting through the chemistry project?
No, a lot of it is movement, actually.
Okay.
So they do a lot of movement exercises. They have programs like Dancing with Babies.
Oh, nice.
That they start with the young elementary and young
Dancing with Babies.
early education.
Yeah.
And I learned like about 3 years ago, I started doing art enrichment after school programming for some of the DC schools.
Yeah.
One of the classes I did was arts and science.
Yeah.
So I was doing science projects with the kids, but they ended up becoming an art project at the end of it, which was really dope. And I was like, I never thought to utilize art and science together, but it's a lot you can do with it.
So then how can you translate that, or how do you translate that in your artistic careers for adults? Because for some of us, the public school artist education has been gone, we've been missed it, and now I don't even know what the color purple is. So explain to me, how are you like using your art and your platform as an education way as well, as an education source?
I encourage everybody. People get scared of art, like, oh, I can't do this, or I don't know how to do this, or like, I don't even know where to start. And it's like, start with an idea in your head. I will show you the techniques. I'll do the movements with you, teach you like the very basics of what you need to know. And from there, I will encourage the hell out of you in what you're doing. Even if you think it's the worst thing in the world, 3/4 of the time, it is not the worst thing in the world. It is actually something that I wish I could make or I could have thought of. And people don't see that. They just want to, bash their art and be like, I'm not an artist, but everybody is an artist.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and that motivation and that encouragement and just letting people know, hey, this is the first or second time you ever do this. It takes practice. It takes muscle memory. It takes mental memory in order to acquire a skill like that.
It does.
You can't just be so hard on yourself. First time you ride a bike, you're not gonna know how to ride a bike.
Of course not. You're gonna bust that ass.
Yes.
You're gonna bust that ass. What's interesting is that when people think of artists, they think that when you fell asleep, the divine gave you a dream, and then you took that dream and you were able to just put it onto a piece of paper. They don't relegate art to skill.
Yes.
So nerd out on me for a second. What are some of the skills that you've learned to be an artist? Like, what are some of the practical skills? Like, is there a stroke type?
Yes.
Do you got to use a certain brush, equipment? What are your thoughts
It's hilarious. My mom was actually watching me live paint outside, and I was moving my whole body with my hand to make these circles and stuff. And she was like, "Wow!" And I'm like, "It's a technique." She was laughing, but she was very serious. I'm like, "No, it's a technique." A lot of it, it's not just your hands. You do have certain brushes for certain things you're trying to do, certain line work, certain angles that you try to do. The brushes make a huge difference. I will say the body movement makes a huge difference. Knowing how to shade and blend colors is a big deal. Knowing how to use dry brushes and wet brushes. So it's a lot of stuff that my mentors taught me even within the last 2 years that I was like, whoa, I never knew this. Or
who are your mentors? Give me your mentors again. Tell me this mentor who taught you to wet and dry brush.
So that would be Kiana Clark.
Okay.
She taught me that. Luther Wright taught me how to spray paint properly.
Okay.
Chris taught me how to do the murals in a more accurate way. I worked with Maggie O'Neill. I was actually an intern for her.
Okay.
And she taught me the basics, the most simplest of things up until I could do it by myself. And it's not I learned it overnight or within a month. It took me a year or 2 or 3 to really get it.
Interesting.
Yes, and I still practice what they taught me, and I kind of see their techniques and skills incorporated in my art just because they taught me the movements and they taught me how to do these things. So it's not to say oh, I copy what they do. It's to say I took the knowledge they gave me and now I'm able to use these techniques in my own art to make my art stronger within my own style, within my own lane. So without them, I'm serious. I took art classes in high school. I've always been an artist. I always drew and paint, and I was very good at it. But I stopped in college. I started doing psychology, working with children with disabilities, and that's what got me more into the teaching aspect inside of it.
And then you came back to the to the art.
It's my passion. It's my life. I can't do anything else. Everything else sucks. It's boring. I can't work a 9 to 5 anymore. I'm like, damn. I just want to make things and create and help the community. That's
I definitely feel that. So on this path of education, it's a lot of trial and error. Tell me about your relationship with failure.
With failure?
With failure.
Man, I can tell you the blood, sweat, and tears. Like, there's days where I'm like, this isn't for me. I'm just going to stop. I'm going to give up. I'm going to tell them I'm not coming tomorrow. I want to quit. I like compare myself to other people, and it's like, you cannot do that. There's days where I've broken my paintbrushes out of like, man, F this shit. I don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to do this. I need to find another talent. Like, I suck.
Like an angry tennis player.
After like I mess up the canvas 5, 6, 7 times, and like you just gotta throw that shit away and get a new canvas. That's what I've come to learn. Like, don't fix it if it's broken.
Throw that shit away
and start
get
over.
A new canvas.
Like a toxic relationship.
Yes,
you know?
throw that
shit away.
So can you fail at art?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You can't fail as long as you know how to properly execute the technique. Because art is, what is the word I want to say? The art is in the eye of the beholder, right?
Yeah.
It's relative. It depends on whose perspective you're looking at it. You could see something and it's trash. Someone thinks it's trash. Someone else would think it's worth $1 million. You know, so.
Yeah. That's true. Okay, so I need you to talk to me about Lebanon.
Yes.
You are Lebanese, first generation? Or were you
Not
born
even.
in
I was
Lebanon?
born there. I'm an immigrant.
What?
Yes, sir.
Immigrants are so cool, bro. Immigrants are the coolest. Tell me how. Okay, would you come to these terrible United States? Who convinced you that this was the place to be?
Well, I was born with a dual citizenship. My dad was already a citizen, but my mom wasn't. So I was born
she's
there.
smart. Yeah.
We came to. They're both from Lebanon, but he went to college here.
Okay.
So easy. But I came when I was 5, and I did my whole like education, elementary, middle school, high school here. But I would spend my summers in Lebanon.
Oh.
So like for 3-4 months, I would go and come back.
Yeah.
So I just came back.
What's up,
actually.
brother?
Last week.
I don't know that man.
Oh my God! I actually just got back last week. I went home for the
Lebanon.
first time. Yeah.
Okay, for sure. But yeah, get me back on track for sure. Okay, I was talking to a young man last week. He's over the Black Rave Culture. I forgot his name. He was just the night before Boiler Room, and I asked him what makes him talented, and he says his experience. And funny enough, when I asked Chris Pirate that, he said the same thing.
Really?
Chris Pirate said, I'm a great, I have a great skill, but the thing that separates me is that I watched Rugrats in 92. And that's how you get to the color palette of the flowers, is because it's the same color palette of Rugrats. I filtered my art through my experience.
Yes.
So tell me how your experience spending summers in Lebanon, being a dual citizen has like shaped your artistry, or if it has at all.
So I would say I would come back to the States and I would go through a heavy depression. My friends, my best friends, my whole family, everybody's there. I would come back here. I hated it here. I'm like, why am I here? Why am I away from everyone?
Great questions.
Art literally got me through those low points, and I would use vibrant colors. I would do things that would make me feel happy. Like sometimes I would use like darker colors and like more quiet tone, but not very often. I always was like colors and lines and shapes and things that would pop and things that like when you see it, it makes you smile and feel good and just like bring the happiness out of like that deep dark place wherever it is and just bring it out onto the paper, and like it would bring it out of me. So I would say like art really got me through most of my life. It really gave me happiness and peace, and it would get me through hard times. And that's what I like really teach my kids too, is like, this is therapeutic. This class is time for you. Don't worry about anything else going on in life. Put whatever you're feeling on paper. If you don't want to do my assignment, I don't care. Utilize the techniques I taught you and do what you think you can do. So, it just gets people through sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. As we're talking about your artistic education journey, you got your mentors who are helping you and teaching you different lessons and different skills. What do you think is the next, what are you on the precipice of? Is there a big, not even want to say show, because I feel like show puts it under like a commercial lens, but is there a next wave? Is there a next era? Is there a new genre? something that you're working on. Talk me through that.
So I've been doing a lot more t-shirt designs, like
Okay.
hand-drawn, customized t-shirt designs. I want to get more into design, and the ultimate goal is to get into a bigger gallery right now. I've been in a few smaller galleries.
Of course.
I have a installation at the Giving Tree right now currently,
nice.
which is ironic because Chris painted the front of the
Yes, it is. Exactly.
But just learning from who's teaching me now and trying to utilize all the skills I have and work on the business aspect of things and try to push for something different. I want to restructure my business. At first, it started as a sip and paint company, and I kind of want to do more and be my own brand and be my own person.
Okay.
And it doesn't necessarily mean just clothing. Like, I want to be able to market for people. I want
Of
to
course.
do logos and graphics, and whether it be on a T-shirt or on a website,
Talk to me about that relationship between art and commerce. There are a lot of artists who kind of feel like those two things are like oil and water. They shouldn't mix. You shouldn't be an artist while also trying to do art for commercial reasons. But I don't know if I agree with that. What are your thoughts?
I don't either, and I'm kind of a different type of artist. I know there's a lot of artists out here that they are strictly about what they're about. Like, they're like, this is what I do, this is my style, I'm not gonna change anything I do. If you don't like it, too bad, you paid for my art. I'm more on the side of you are my customer, you are the consumer, you're coming to me for an idea. We can work together to get what you want, to get the product you want, to get the image you want. So I'm more of an open-minded artist. I'm more relaxed with it. So I study psychology too. So I would think about things like what's gonna get consumers' attention. What colors are we gonna use? What are the things that can psychologically draw customers and draw people to a brand or to a logo or to a design that we're about to create.
Right.
So I like it because it gives me more to think about, and I feel like it strengthens my own skills, and it'll give me more expertise and experience in the future too. I'm this worked and this didn't. Why did it work and why didn't this work?
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. As we're here at Art All Night, it is a celebration of the city's celebration of art, a celebration of celebrations, if you will. I want to know, what are you celebrating now? Is there a new gallery or exhibition coming up? This one I do want to put under the capitalist situation. Is there something that the people should be looking out for? Tell us about it.
So I know right now Art Basel, and I call it Basel. I don't know why I keep doing that. Art Basel is in December. I'm actually going with my colleagues whose company is called Reeling Global. They are an NFT company. They just made an app for NFT art, which is pretty dope. But we have a little trip coming up in December to do some live painting and showcase my artwork and different things. So that's the next move. That's big for me right now.
That's what's up.
Yes.
That's what's up. It is so great to see how you have artistically grown over the last 4 years. I met you at the Line Hotel.
Yes.
I think I was doing a podcast at the time. So it's so good to see that matriculation, how you've developed in the city. You've got these mentors now. What advice would you give to some artists who are watching right now? How can they take advantage of these record-setting resources in Washington, D.C.?
Man, do your research, plan. I know planning doesn't always work, but have some sort of plan, have a backup plan, have ambition, have goals, have something that you want to acquire and accomplish, and put your mind to it, and talk who you need to talk to. Don't be shy, go and get it. Do whatever you need to do to go get it. Be hungry. That is my biggest advice. Be hungry.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Well, Lex, I thank you for your time. I appreciate you. I'm finna walk outside with you, smoke a little blunt, and we'll be right back with more Wake and Bake with BeMo at Art All Night.
Thank you.
I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do. You can go ahead and go, Lex.
Okay.
I'm still talking to the people, though.
Bye, people.
Trying to figure out how we're going to do this. Let's play Technicolor, and then I'm going to turn the camera towards the DJ, smoke a blunt, and we'll be right back with more all of this, all right? We'll be right back.
If you name no place and time, I'll be there. It could be another life, I'd be there for you. And if it gets cold, I'll warm you. And if it's too loud, I'll calm you down. And if it gets dim, if it all fades out, I'll see you in Technicolor. I see excites me, ignites me, invites me. You like it, I love it, you need it, I want it. The deeper the color, oh. For all in between, hold on to me. If it all gets dim, if it all fades out, if it all fades out, I'll see you in Technicolor. I see you in Technicolor. Oh, I see you in Technicolor. I see you in Technicolor. I see you in Technicolor. I see you in. I see you in Technicolor. I see you. I see you in Technicolor. Yeah, 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 oh, baby. If you name the place and time, I'll be there. It could be another life, I'll be there for you. And if it gets cold, I'll warm you. And if it's too loud, I'll calm it down. And if it gets down, if it all fades out, I see you in Technicolor. Oh, I see you in Technicolor. I do. I see you in Technicolor. Oh, I see you in Technicolor. I do. I do. I see you in Technicolor.
All right. We are back out all night. We are here at Art All Night Radio, here to explore more things in blackness through black art. It's been an exciting night. We do have a couple more artists that we want to talk to. What's up, sweetheart? Everything all right? Everything all right? Pardon me. Get your seat when you can, sweetheart. Get your seat when you can. It's been an interesting conversation. Just a second ago, I was outside with our girl, Oh Hey Lil, who is also down here in Uptown for Art All Night. It's a beautiful experience. She's doing a live painting. It was wonderful to watch, wonderful to see. I'm so glad my man Adrian has us through at Art of Noise. Art of Noise, make sure y'all come on down, 831 Upshar. We are in the alley, having a good time, having a fun time. Let's see if we can find some folks for us to talk to. Who we want to talk to? Who is it? Is this the artist right here? What's her name? See if you can get her attention. Yeah, come on. Come have a seat. I'm going to see if I can get the artist to come talk to me. Come have a conversation with me. Yeah, come on. Come have a sit down. Hello.
Hi.
We had, hi. Do me a favor, introduce yourself. You can scoot in just a little bit if you don't mind. Introduce yourself to my people right here.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Villarreal, and I am the mixed media artist here. I create work that centers the Black experience, Black people, especially Black women, and I'm very excited to be here and share space with y'all.
You know what we should do, sweetheart? Let's let the people on Instagram go. Let's connect the camera back to the joint, because I want our friend to explain some very particular pieces, and I want the people to see at the same time, all right? So let's do that. While the lady of the house is doing that, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. We actually it was a young lady, I think she was, I'll just say West African. Okay. West African young lady. She came in, she was enamored. This is your piece right here. The wooden pieces are yours? No.
I'm the mixed media artist.
You're the mixed media. This is you?
Yes.
With the two ladies. Okay, okay, we'll start there. Me and the lady at the house, we were sitting here, we were like, are we these two ladies in the salon right now? Is this what's happening right here? Talk to me about the theme of the piece and some of the methods you use to execute.
Yeah, so with this piece specifically, and like most of my pieces, I want to depict Black women in a state of just being, just existing in their day-to-day lives. And you know, the hair salon is very important in Black culture, and so that's something that I wanted to highlight, specifically with these two women. And this one was definitely, I stretched myself creatively in terms of the materials I used. From paint to the background is actually drawer liners. The floor is...
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The floor is cardstock, glossy cardstock that I randomly found.
Okay.
Newspaper, and I wanted to incorporate some of my sewing skills. So I have a lot of denim scraps. I incorporated that into there too. And so yeah, this is just, I'd say, definitely a reflection of my creativity, but also just a way to highlight Black culture and, you know, the importance of the beauty salon.
Absolutely.
As it relates to Black women and how they've defined their beauty. You know, you go to the hair salon as you are, and I think the hair salon, beauty salon has been a safe space. Yeah. For Black women to show up as they please. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, I acted out in the beauty salon one time with my mama. I never went again. She never invited me back. Right. Never invited.
Cause this is supposed to be therapy a little bit. Yeah.
I'm not trying to deal with all that. Here's the thing though. So one young lady has a phone. The other lady has a newspaper. Tell me about how technology could be disrupting this tradition.
That's a real question. I'd say technology, this is supposed to be a flashback in time, and I'd say technology, it could have been a disruptor back in time, but not to the extent that it does today. And so she has like a little flip phone, and I think, looking back, at least comparing it to technology's impact now versus in the past, obviously, like, it's always had an impact. But here, when I painted her, this was just a means of her communicating with her girlfriend or whatnot. That's the image I had in my head, like just her talking on the phone with her friend. While
connect the camera.
You good?
Just turn on your. Sorry, go ahead.
You're good. So for me, when I incorporated the phone, it was in my head. I envisioned her just having a conversation with one of her friends.
Right.
But I'd say like today, oftentimes there's a disconnect in the sense that I don't know. Usually, like if you're on your phone, you're on social media. You're just like. But here, I don't know. There's something more organic about her use of technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just, when I think of the beauty salon and like even my mom when she used to get her hair, she's just talking to one of her friends, and that's her way of, releasing, and her way of just being able to connect and take that time to catch up with her friends. And so that's why I incorporated the phone here.
Okay. So, then talk to me about the role of like protective wear. Because I feel like I haven't been able to fully investigate all your pieces, but I'm seeing bonnets, I'm seeing do-rags, I'm even seeing young lady with the hair over her, the flower over her head. What is the role of like that protection in your personification of black women? And give it to me real now.
Yeah, no, I'm always gonna be honest. Ultimately, I started that.
Hold on 1 second though. Frequency. DJ, can we get a little volume? Just a little bit, brother. Well, I'm over here strained. I'm using all my senses. All right, go ahead.
So I initially started it with the portraits with the bonnet. It was actually the first one I ever did was a self-portrait of me in my bonnet.
Okay.
And for me, the protective wear, whether it be a bonnet or a do-rag, I associate that with rest. Like when you're at home or when I'm at home and like I'm done for the day, I'm in a bonnet. And I think, and I know that's the case for a lot of black women, like it's just, I just associate it with rest. Like you are fully at peace with who you are, like you're ready. Like it's just your time to just be.
I like that. Yeah.
Without having to worry about how you're perceived or trying to look done up for anybody. Yeah, so that's what the bonnet and the do-rag means for me.
Then I got to ask you the Monique question then. Do bonnets belong in public? Should you be wearing your bonnet in public?
You can wear your bonnet wherever. That's what I believe. I'm not going to judge like...
On some gangster shit. I got you.
It does not make you less of or more of anything. Like...
Yeah.
It's a protective wear.
Just a protective wear, protective style.
Yeah. And honestly, sometimes you gotta put the bonnet off your hair, not looking the way you want it to. The bonnet can.
Yeah.
It could look cute. I think it could look cute.
I think so.
Yeah.
So you have, I think I've been seeing you on Instagram. How long have you been at Art of Noise?
How long have I been?
How long have your pieces been in the space?
When was the open? I don't even.
Been a little while? Like 2-3 months?
No, almost a month. No. It's a month-long show, so it's been probably like 3 weeks now.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. I was talking to other artists. I kind of skipped this question. My bad. In a city that's dedicated to government and lobbying, I think it's so cool that we have a night that's dedicated specific to art. Tell me about how the city has kind of fostered your career in art, if you will.
No, for me personally, I'm from Central Florida, and
what part?
Kissimmee, Orlando. Like
She's from Tampa.
Hi, neighbor. But yeah, from my experience, there was not an art community in Florida, and I moved to DC. I didn't even move with the intentions of pursuing art. I moved for completely different reasons. Honestly, primarily because I just wanted to move here, but then I ended up pursuing like my master's in public health.
Okay.
And
awesome.
It wasn't until I was exposed to the art community here, specifically the black artists here, where I was inspired to take my art more seriously. And so I'd say literally like my art career was birthed here just because I was so inspired and moved by the community here. And literally,
if you want to share any names.
No one specific. It's just like all the black artists that reside here and that work here. And there's so many talented artists here. And I had never really been exposed to that in Central Florida. Like, black art and black artists, for me, I'm just speaking from my experience, was almost unheard of where I grew up.
Really?
Because it just wasn't a focus. It wasn't a priority. And especially in my household, like,
Why?
they didn't.
Why would you say? It's because I had an Ethiopian lady up here. She gave me a wonderful word for it that I completely forgot in Ethiopian. But it's basically the fact that, like, was there a perception where you come from that art wasn't sustainable career, that you couldn't eat with art?
Yeah, that's the main thing, like, for my parents, my mom especially, like, it just, you know, it's not sustainable. And like every parent that cares, like, you know, they want their child to pursue something that they know
they'll be good.
And so art just wasn't that. And I think too, just like really looking at it historically and socially, like, I understand especially black people, where we face so much systemic injustices and racism and whatnot that it's hard for art to be a priority. You know, it's unfortunately, like, my mom specifically, like, for the longest, she had us at so young. She had to survive. Art was not gonna, you know, feed us, and so they don't associate. Or my mom, for example, a lot of black people don't associate. You know, it's just not a priority because it's not what sustains them. But
so then, I got a good question for you.
Yeah.
So then, how did it become a priority for you? Where did you learn? What did you learn? Who taught you? Or is this all just rebellion?
I wholeheartedly believe certain things are divine.
Yeah.
And God-given. And since I was little, I was always doing art. I vividly remember when I was 3 years old, that was the first time I attempted to draw. I have very good long-term memory, and I remember the first time I attempted, and nobody prompted me. I found a sticker, and I was like, I'm gonna draw this. I will say, on my dad's side especially, my grandparents are seamstress, and they've been seamstress in Panama for the longest. And I recently learned that my great uncle was a famous sculptor.
Oh, okay.
Too. And so, like, you know, it kind of was there without me even knowing. But
interesting.
Yeah, I'd say, like, I don't know, it was just in me. And for the longest, I was trying so hard to, you know, go the conventional route and pursue a career in health, and, you know, because I was good at math and science and stuff. But I reached a point where I was like, no, I can't give up. I cannot imagine a life without art. And so I decided to commit to it fully 2021. No, 2020, like 2022.
It's all the same years.
Yeah.
2020 to 20 yesterday. It's all about the same time. Wow. Okay. So I've been reading this book on art theory, and it goes through this chronicle of art history. And one of the points that the author is making is that we do an injustice by assuming that your skill is just the divine. I hear that you've been inspired by the divine, but I want to say there's something more. But you could prove me wrong. The art theory goes on to say that basically, when we put like this mystical ability on your ability to art, that's how we get commercial success. That's how I can raise price, because I can always hide behind, it was divinely touched. As I was telling my man Maurice, it's like some people think you fell asleep one night, you saw that, you woke up, and it just manifested from your face onto a piece of canvas. But I think there's some skill, some things that you had to like really practice to do. Tell me about some of those skills.
For sure.
Because like the crayon at 3, I feel that. I can feel that, because there are certain things that we do as children that I'm still doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like also, you're not still drawing like a 3-year-old. So like, what?
Absolutely. I will say, going back to when I was talking about God-given, like, yeah, like people are gifted, naturally when not. But I think that passion is something that what I believe is everyone has a gift, whether they know it or not, and it's whether or not you choose to tap into it, And for me, like, it kind of don't make sense how I started drawing. And so now as it relates to skill, of course, that was it's all practice. Like, I was not doing portraits like that from the get-go. It definitely took a lot of practice. But I will say, how can I say it? I still, personally, I have to give credit to God because it took practice, but I was not expecting it to improve at this rate. And I say that very humbly. I don't mean to like toot my own horn or anything like that.
No, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's like I when I started, I didn't think I would have never imagined my art being in a space like this when I started early last year. That's why I say, like, I gotta give thanks to God for that. Ultimately, I did what I had to do. I did what I could do, and then.
No, I will accept your claim of the divine. I will accept. So then
I'm not gonna raise my prices because, like, I'm like, oh, that's not
God told me, so it's double the price, baby.
No, but.
Okay, so then, how do you practice that? How do you practice the development of your skill, and how do you practice that connection with the divine?
How do I practice my development of my skills? I challenge myself for every piece.
Oh, really? So, I want to guess, but which one came first?
Between which ones?
Between the portraits and my girls.
Oh. The portraits.
Okay.
The portraits. They're different style. I think with the portraits, I was trying to go a little more realistic with my approach. This is more experimental and fun. And so, like, I feel like either could have came before because I approach them very differently. You know what I'm saying? They're different styles.
The only way I was going to guess is because there are more mediums here.
Now that's exactly.
That's the only,
I think for me, when I'm challenging myself now, it's more so how can I expand myself creatively and in the materials that I use. Not more so like my skill, because like I know I could paint a face, but like I want more than that. I want to create an experience. I want to tell a story. And so I think now, like with this piece, I'm telling a story. Like you can picture, you're envisioning these two women and you fill in the gaps and whatnot. And it's not just, a face or a portrait and whatnot. And so that's how I've been stretching myself creatively.
Okay. So as you stretch yourself, what is your relationship with failure?
With what?
With failure.
Oh, with failure.
Yeah. Can you fail at art?
What's my relationship? That's interesting.
Or would it be better to ask you what's your relationship with success? And I asked that question because I was talking to Maurice and other artists and their relationship with commerce. It seems now more than ever, artists are being pushed to be more commercial. Sell, make money. And people are aligning financial success with just success. So then what is your relationship with success? When this sells, are you automatically thinking, damn, I got to make another one with 3 ladies this time?
Success is very subjective, and we all know that. And for me, I chose a life that if I'm betting on finances for my success, I'm a failure right now. So, for me, temporarily. For me, success, my relationship with success, it starts with just creating work that I'm proud of. Like when I finish a piece and I look at it and I'm like, wow, this was better than my last one. Or like, I brought the vision that I had to life. Like to me, that's success. And then I think even more than that, for it to be in a space and people receive it and feel seen, to me, that's success. Like
Oh, okay.
People coming out to me and telling me, oh, this made me feel this way, and I love how your art feels, and your art inspired me to do this. And like that's literally, that has been my main goal from the beginning when I started to show my art in spaces. And so
the impact.
Yeah, and like, you know, I already have an idea of what type of piece to sell, but I'm not going to limit myself to those type of pieces because that's very limiting, and I want to grow. And for me, this is my creative expression.
Right.
So before it is me selling work, it's me expressing myself creatively and doing what I want to do and telling the stories that I want to tell the way I wanted to tell them. So, and if people buy it, I greatly appreciate it. But you know, if it's just there for people to see it and feel seen through my work, then that's more than enough too.
So then in that case, can you fail?
No, I don't think I can fail. Okay. No. If there is failure, it's between me and the work itself. It's like, okay, I made a mistake.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I, quote unquote fail. But you know, those are teachable moments, and I learn from them, and we grow from it.
Are you like obsessive about preventing those mistakes? I was talking to an analog photographer who prints on film, and she told me some of those mistakes add to the texture of her results.
That's very true.
But some of those mistakes are like, fuck, now I gotta start over.
It really depends. Like, I don't beat myself up over it too much. I'd say, like, I can be nitpicky when it comes to my art, but I also don't believe in perfection like that.
I hear you.
And like I agree with certain mistakes can add to the piece because you know it's a mistake.
That's
but
right.
When
Only you know.
See it, they're not gonna notice what I see because they're not the ones creating it. Now there are some mistakes like with I'm not gonna say too much, but one of these pieces, I made a big mistake and I had to start all over because I was like, I am not dropping this off with it looking like this. And so at those moments, I'm like, okay, I have to fix it. But again, it's fixable, and I learned from it and I grew from it. So, yeah.
Okay, so and the piece that you had to start over, do you have? I'm experiencing this right with myself. Do you have like residual emotions toward that piece? Like there is a process that I did to create a blueprint look etch, but it took me so long and it caused me so much pain that every time I look at it, I'm like, I don't like you. It's beautiful, but like my personal relationship with you is not good. And if you were a real person, we fight. Do you have those type of residual feelings towards the things that you've had to mend, or when you wipe the canvas, is it like, okay, new canvas?
No. Thankfully, I've never had to wipe a canvas completely.
Okay.
That would be sad. I would be distraught. But with the pieces, like for example, the flower piece behind. I initially attempted it with real dried flowers, and it looked terrible.
Oh.
So I had, and I spent so much money on like the materials for that, and on the flowers and stuff. Not so much money, but for me, it was so much.
You spent some money on it.
I spent some money on it, and it was disappointing. But when I created that, I was like, you know what? It was worth it. It was worth it because it was kind of like it kind of forced me. See it as
failure.
Yeah, it forced me to reroute myself and come up with that, and so it was a blessing in disguise.
Okay.
Yeah, so I love her. I don't have any residual.
Okay.
I'm happy with how it came out.
Yeah.
It came out better than what it would have.
That was just a step on the way.
Exactly.
You just had to see the other flowers there first. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
That sounds like a test. That sounds like you just preached or something.
Okay. How do you evolve? Or is evolution even in your mind frame? Because I've had an artist check me on that before. Like, I ain't trying to evolve, nigga. I'm just trying to do the next thing. Like, so what is the next iteration? How do you get to the next piece?
Like I said, I challenge myself for every piece.
Yeah, you do.
I push myself creatively, and so I think with that, I will naturally evolve. I think the essence of my work will, for the most part, remain consistent.
Okay.
But the way I approach my work may shift, and I embrace that fully. If I know that I've challenged myself and did something that I didn't think I could have. And so for me, a lot of it is size. I want to create bigger.
Okay, there we go.
I will create bigger, despite my limitation, which is I don't got a studio yet. Yet.
Right.
But once I have that, even with what I do have, I make do with what I have. I look forward to creating bigger pieces, and I already have like ideas that I'm very excited to bring to life and stuff. So
okay. Okay. Is there a medium that scares you? Is there one that's like, I don't know yet?
I think the one that scared me the most is the one that I'm doing now.
Okay.
I did not paint. I didn't start painting till 2018 because I was so scared of painting.
Why?
And then, because I was like, there's not enough control. Like, it can go left so easily.
Very much so. Very much so, yeah.
But no, like, you just got to take a leap of faith. That's what that's what life is. And so, yeah, now it's like my favorite medium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're fun to talk to. I appreciate this. I appreciate this.
I feel the same.
Is there, so your closing is coming up soon, so it's something you want to plug to the people before I let you go?
Thank y'all for receiving this work. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely check it out. Candace's work is incredible. It's worth seeing, and we both put so much effort and time and our heart into these pieces. And if you're considering buying work, I say this with the utmost humility, but the prices will go up soon. So this is the time to invest in the beginning of my career, because I don't see myself going anywhere or like backing out from my art. Like, it's only up
Well,
from
you
here.
said you tried. You said you tried, you know what I'm saying? You tried the 9 to 5.
I tried it. And God said, no, you're going to be an artist. And so.
Who are you to deny the divine? I got you.
Yeah, so, if
Yeah,
you're
pull up.
interested in buying or just want to see, please receive this work.
You want to tell the people your social media? Did you already do that?
No.
You don't want to tell them?
Oh, no, I don't mind. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
You can follow me on Instagram, VVJarial Art. That's V as in Victor, another V as in Victor, ILLARR, 2 R's, not one. EAL Art. My website is the same, vvjarialart.com. Everything is VVJarial Art.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Go enjoy the rest of Art All Night. Where you going? You just going outside?
Probably.
Okay, for sure. For sure. Have a good night. No problem. Vanessa, everybody. Vanessa. Thank you so much. Oh, man, what a wonderful conversation. It's been a great time right here at Art All Night Radio, right here in Art of Noise. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to play a little something that the lady of the house is going to play, and we'll be right back with more conversations. Wait, what time is it? Yeah, we'll be back with more conversations, and it's my man TL. My man TL is in the house. What's up, man?
Hello? Yo, what's going on with you, brother? I got a party tonight for us to go to. Come ride with me.
Nah, I'm gonna just kick it in the crib tonight.
Nigga, you always do this shit, yo. Come ride with me to this party.
You always ask the same question, but the answer don't change, so I'm gonna just catch you next time. We good, bro.
Check it. Either you come with me to this party, I'm gonna bring the party to you.
Good luck, nigga. My door is locked.
Oh, this motherfucker done hung up on me.
3 hours later.
Yo! Nigga, I know you hear me. You about to go to this party, yo? Come on, yo.
I'ma join the antisocial social club. Hit my phone, you know what's up. Drinking late and everybody know the shit. I be out the mix with the shits. I don't need that. Hit me with the split for the lick and the recap. I'ma join the antisocial social club. Hit my phone, you know what's up. Drinking late and everybody know the shit. I be out the mix with the shits. I don't need that. Hit me with the split, the lick, the recap.
I don't know, dog. Sometimes I'm a menace, call me old dog. Mama ain't raised no show off, but I got the skill, might as well get the flow off. Stun a little bit, brush them all off. They don't really love me, they just like the idea. That's a oh nah. Certain social circles seem so false. I go off. Friend of me sucking your energy. Enemies trying to get rid of me. People prefer the proximity. I get it, but won't let them limit me. Feel free to keep it private. Nosy niggas wildin', riding through the city like Batman and D&D. My Robin, quiet, phone always on, but the ring will be on silent. I've been trying to stay about the way. I trade my locks for waves. This the kind of vibe you couldn't confiscate. Straight from the source, never concentrate. Take care of my chickens, can't nobody take them off my plate. I should infiltrate the antisocial social club. Hit my phone, you know what's up. Tricky letting everybody know the shit. I be out the mix with the shit, so I don't need that. Hit me with the split for the lick. Recap, I'ma join the antisocial social club. Hit my phone, you know what's up. Tricky letting everybody know the shit. I be out the mix with the shit, so I don't need that. Hit me with the split, the lick, the recap.
Hey, nigga, tryna go out tonight?
Nah, I'm hitting. Y'all be too hot, I be chillin'. You be a heel for brunch. Right dinner, they call you a villain. Why is that? These niggas fickle pickles, and they be biting like tender fiddles. Might be exciting up in the middle with my niggas when liquor get in the system. But I'm Dutch at your function, I had to split it. Get in this feeling like shit is different, like my routine. I do not act, I don't do scenes. I'm on a roll like a loose leaf. Single me out like a Lucy. I throw up the dudes profusely. Excuse me, this was cool, peace.
Hey Mo, I ain't even gonna hold you, that shit was hitting.
I know, man.
On some like difference of opinion shit, like you came with that one, yo. I ain't be safe, fool.
Alright,
fuck with you.
All right, we are back at Art All Night Radio. I'm your host, BeMo. I'm here with our final artist of the night, Miss Candace.
Hello.
How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. If you want to give a small intro to the people.
Okay.
If the people is the camera, you know, it's weird.
Hi, my name is Candace Tavares. I am a self-taught wood artist. And
Self-taught? Sorry, go ahead. Finish the intro. Sorry.
And I really love to create art that celebrates Black beauty and kind of reflects the natural beauty and flair of every shape, size, color, texture that comes with being a Black woman. Yep, that's it.
Okay. Self-taught. Okay. So many things. Okay. I got to calm down. Self-taught wood artist.
Yes.
You know the stereotypes though, right? You know what I'm saying? All the boys go to shop class.
That
We
girls
work
don't
in
know how to
wood.
use power tools?
Yeah.
My dad didn't have a son, so his daughters learned how to use power tools.
So, okay. I need the process. Tell me how did you get to learning like the love of wood and then crafting in that particular sense? And I hate to use the gender stereotype, but it is a thing that I just don't see often.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly and truly, my dad had a wood shop my whole life, and he built stuff. He built our deck when I was a kid.
Oh shit!
And,
your dad is a man. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
So he used power tools, and he taught me how to use power tools. And so I knew how to build stuff and fix stuff, but that wasn't really my thing. And then kind of early on in the pandemic, I started doing digital illustrations.
Okay.
And so I was doing digital illustrations and drawing Black people because I wanted to show positive images of Blackness in America.
Of course.
Because I was tired of seeing Black trauma.
Especially during the pandemic.
Yeah, it was too much for me.
Every day. Yeah.
And then I also had this business where I was making backdrops for people's weddings, and I needed to learn how to use a laser cutter to cut a sign for someone's wedding.
Really? Okay.
So I used the laser cutter, I cut the sign, and then I was like, oh, what would it be like if I cut one of my illustrations? And I tried it, and I was like, oh, it would be dope. It would be this is what I do now.
Yeah.
so it just kind of like grew from there.
It's an evolution of different artistic practices.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did you discover that you were an artist? It wasn't during the pandemic.
No. So I would say that I've always been like a creative person.
Okay.
But have never before the pandemic, I would say, claimed to call myself an artist.
Okay.
I come from, a very artistic family.
Okay. Did your father consider himself an artist?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think he did.
Huh.
I mean, there's like a picture that he painted in my grandma's kitchen, but like,
It's just, family heirloom, but he's not art.
Yeah.
No, they don't. My mother does not have nothing.
What?
Like my art? Absolutely not.
Oh, my parents still have pictures from like
Oh, no.
when I was in the 2nd grade.
That's because you were an artist.
But they look crazy.
Oh, I
There's
guess.
a whole lot of really crazy looking stuff at my parents' house that I made through the years that
You hear that, Mama?
personally put up.
Put up my bad art, okay?
Okay. It's a whole lot of bad. I mean, there's some really good Candace art at
Yeah.
my parents' house, but there's also some like.
Huh? We'll get to that in a second, though. It took you a while to accept the artist term, even though you and your father are artists. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I think when I started like being, and I would say this. My mom tells this all the time. Like I always felt like when I would make things, I'd be like, oh, I could sell this. I'd be like, somebody would buy this, mommy, and she'd be like, yes, they would. Yeah. You're right.
Thanks, Mom.
But I guess that there was like always something in me that was like, yeah, like the things that I make have value, and
Yeah.
other people will see that value. But I think kind of when there was nothing else to do, and I was really leaning into like I have this art and I have this like work that stresses me out. So really, I have this art. It made me like devote more energy, I think, to it, and then like just refine it more. And when I was like making money off of it, then it was like, oh, okay, maybe like this is a thing. Like maybe it's okay for you to claim that you're an artist because even though you don't have training in this, you have a skill set that other people value as well as you value.
Right. Interesting. The artists that I have been talking to this evening, to put it nicely, have kind of separated the journey of commerce and art. It's like the journey of commerce is almost dangerous. But what I'm hearing from you is that these things are informing each other and not necessarily a negative reaction towards each other. Yeah. Because there's this conversation in art that's happening now that a lot of artists are being pushed to be like, oh, you're not an artist if you aren't selling, or if you're not successful if you aren't moving your pieces.
Yeah, and I don't think that's true. So I don't know. I don't think that I would say that like if you're not selling work that you're not an artist. And I have been in the past told that like, oh, you're commercial, but you're not really an artist. But I think that when I started making this type of art, I would say
it's different.
It felt different. It felt more like personal and
Interesting.
innovative.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think the fact that like other people were seeing it and saying like your art is beautiful. Wow, your art is beautiful.
Oh, that
made
got
it
you.
easier for me to say, okay, this art that I'm creating is coming from me because I am an artist, and not just like, oh, I'm like a crafty person that can make things that like some people think are pretty.
Huh. Huh.
Did I stump you?
No, you didn't stump me. It's just that I've had a conversation with so many artists tonight. And every time I talk to an artist, it's a brilliant thing. And I feel like all these things are just building and swelling upon this point of like, what exactly is art? Yeah. So like, if you could define it, especially if your father, who built a deck for your family, does not consider himself an artist, and it took you until you got to this, because the digital art is one thing, but like to take it to this elevated point of mixed medium. Yeah.
Like, I really did come from a family full of artists.
Okay.
Like, I have many cousins who are artists. And, like...
What type of art do they do?
Well, Maurice is my cousin.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
Yeah. And we have another cousin, Lynette, who is a painter. And, like, an amazing painter. And really, she can do, like, everything. She can paint, she can sew, she can do all the things.
Just touched.
Yeah.
Gotcha, yeah.
And, like really leaned into that. And has, like... art education.
Yeah.
And so I guess I think kind of like before kind of felt like, well, they're the artist. I'm just like a creative person, but like they're the artist.
Yeah.
And then it, I did it more and more and more, and it was like, maybe you're an artist too. Maybe we're just all artists.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm so stunned. There was a young lady who came in here. She's a West African young girl. She was taking a picture of that piece. This person right here, she was just enamored with the braids. She said she was going to send this picture to her family with the price on it and be like, this is what I want for my birthday. Everybody put in, right? So let's start talking about your subject matter, Black women.
Yes.
Why is it important? We talked about during the pandemic, you wanted to see positive images. So after positive images, what do you think is the effect of having these multi-dimensional, textured, wood-carved versions of Black women?
Well, I think that Black women are naturally beautiful.
This is true.
But we are very seldom told that.
Okay.
I think that for the majority of Black women, what they more often hear is what they need to do differently to be beautiful and how they need to adjust themselves to be beautiful.
Damn, that's true.
How they can augment the way that God created them to make them more beautiful to somebody else. And so for me, using a natural medium like wood and depicting natural beauty just felt right. It felt like a reminder for myself and for other Black women that, like, you don't have to change who you are to be beautiful.
Yeah.
You don't have to adjust anything about yourself to be valuable and worthy and beautiful and, like, gorgeous. You are that just as you are. Just how God made you. So however your hair is growing out of your head in whatever texture and whatever color, like, that is beautiful.
Exactly.
Whatever complexion grows, the skin on your body, like, that is beautiful. You don't have to make yourself lighter or darker. You don't have to smooth
Precisely.
any of your imperfections. Like, even if you have blemishes and blotches, like, that is beautiful. You are beautiful just as you are.
Yeah, we love the two-tones. We love it. Yeah, we love it. Okay. So we talked about the power tool part of it, but the wood part is also gangster because there is something so, in my mind, the medium of wood is like permanent. It's one of those things that will be on planet Earth as long as we're on planet Earth and longer.
Yeah.
So tell me, why you chose the medium of wood?
I think wood was a happy accident that just, like, after I stumbled upon it, felt right. Because I think wood is just naturally beautiful.
It is.
It is naturally beautiful, and it's so diverse.
Ooh, diverse. Talk about diversity. Talk about diversity and intersect that with Black women too.
So there are, if you look at my pieces, so many different species of wood that are used to depict the different hues of Black and brownness.
Yeah.
Right? And I think when you look at Black people, there are so many hues that make up the beauty of a Black person.
Right.
Like, we do not, like...
Right.
I think it speaks to the idea of maybe colorism a little bit.
Okay.
And just the notion that every shade of brown is beautiful. And wood comes in so many different shades of brown that it felt right to use something that naturally comes in a shade of brown and is widely considered beautiful to depict and reflect on a people that come in so many different shades of brown and have not been acknowledged as being as beautiful as they are.
Yeah, and speaking of the natural world, right? There is in the digital world, we're finding out that people who make cameras and make lenses have not historically considered what you and I look like on those places. So to see this natural depiction in these woods that naturally exist, I feel like it just adds to the flavor. I just get it. Did you try another meat? Did you try plastic and it didn't work out? Did you try platinum one time?
So, okay, I'll tell you. At one point, I sewed. I was like a quilter for a little bit.
Okay.
I did.
But you're not an artist. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
I did, what else? Like alcohol ink art for a little bit.
Okay.
I played with vinyl for a little while and like resin art.
Okay.
And then the digital illustration, and then came here. I never really considered myself a painter, so that was never something that I like dove into. And I felt like when I started using wood, like it just felt right, and it didn't feel like I needed to explore anymore to find a home. It felt like I wasn't necessarily exploring anymore, but I was like now expanding and growing.
Right. So then how does, and correct me if you feel like this is inappropriate, but how do you expand with the wood? Are you looking to evolve? And I had one artist tell me like, Nick, I'm not trying to evolve. Like, I'm just trying to make the next thing. Or are you trying to evolve? Are you trying to look for more wood techniques? Or is it really like taking the techniques that you have and crafting just different visions?
So I think it's all of the above.
Okay.
Because I started out and it was like all laser cut and it was all one type of wood, and it was just, I was staining the wood different colors.
Okay.
And then a friend of mine kind of like pushed me to say, okay, well, no, like I get your message, and if you really want to drive your message home, you need to be using different species of wood and not just staining.
Right.
And in like kind of like taking that to heart and leaning into that, it forced me to expand my practice because
Got you.
lasers don't cut ebony.
I was getting ready to ask you.
Ebony
Go ahead.
laughs at a laser. Like, laughs hard.
Imitate the laugh for me. A petty laugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like when Simba was laughing in the elephant grave. I laugh in the face of danger.
Oh yes. Yes, young Simba.
That is what ebony does. Ebony laughs in the face of a laser.
Really?
Yes. So it kind of forced me after I like spent all this money on this wood that I didn't know how to use, because I was like, I'm gonna do this. To find a way to still have precision and accuracy, but do it by hand. So I have a scroll saw, and now I will laser etch to get the outline of the pieces that I need, and then I cut it by hand. And I think as I tried to get like more textures, then it felt natural to like also like hand carve stuff. So if you look at the piece over there that has the large like pop smoke braids, her scalp, like the hair that's being pulled into the braids, I hand carve to get the detail there.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think as I try to bring what I see in my head to life more, it forces me to use different techniques and explore different ways to manipulate wood to make what I see real.
Yeah. I'm reading this art theory book, and it's taking me through art history.
Okay.
And one of the points that it talks about is that when we say that, when we assume that artists sleep at night,